She said it like she was handing me a plastic grocery bag full of nothing. "You're a burden." Not mama, not thank you, not even a sigh with some mercy in it. Just that one word, dropped on my kitchen table like it wouldn't bruise. I didn't argue. I didn't list the meals, the school pickups, the early mornings and late nights I'd stitched together like a quilt. I didn't raise my voice. I just nodded, said all right, and went to find my pocketbook. My goodbye didn't come with a scene. It came with keys. "Before we go any further, thank you for sitting with me today. Truly. Some stories get heavy until you tell them out loud and somebody says, 'I hear you.' Tell me where you're watching from, your city, your state, that little corner you hold down. Drop it in the comments so I can pray over it by name. And if anybody ever made you feel like you take up too much space in a life you helped build, I want to hear your story too. My inbox is open. This porch is wide enough for all our truths. My name is Hattie Rose Bennett. I'm 68 years old, born outside Warner Robins, Georgia, where summer hangs on your skin and Sunday hymns follow you home. I married my sweetheart, Earl, at 19. We got one daughter, Danielle. I worked cafeteria lines, hospital nights, and hemmed dresses on a second-hand singer that sang when it wanted and coughed when it didn't. Earl left me too soon. Heart just stopped in his sleep one winter, and I learned how to stretch $1 like biscuit dough, press it gentle so it keeps rising. We owned a little duplex off Maple Street, bought it in '89 when money still smelled like paper and fresh paint. After Earl passed, I rented the top to a grad student who talks to her plants and plays the violin quiet at night. The downstairs was mine. I kept it up like a promise. But a fall on a wet porch and a knee surgery later, Danielle said, "Mama, come stay with us till you're strong again." It was supposed to be a season. Seasons change. People do too. At first it was sweet. Grandbabies climbing my lap like kittens. Me humming over pots, sending crockpots to soccer practice. I kept envelopes in the china cabinet, groceries, gas, grown folks' business. I never liked to owe. But time has a way of turning gratitude into habit, and habit gets hungry. It started small. "Mama, can you not fry so much? The smell sticks." Then, "Mama, don't fold the towels, you don't do it right." Then bigger. "Mama, you left your cane by the door again." One night I heard her whisper to her husband in the hallway, "We can't keep doing this. It's just a lot." I felt that lot like a door click. The day the word landed was a Tuesday. Rain tapping the window like a nervous cousin. I was making rice and beans, simple and kind, the kind of meal that lets you breathe. Danielle stood there, all tight around the mouth, and said, "Mama, we can't keep carrying you like this. You're a burden." That word walked itself around my kitchen and looked me in the eye. I didn't cry. I didn't correct her. I stirred the pot one more time, turned off the stove, and took out 3 things, my little leather wallet, my church fan, and the envelope that said "for someday" in Earl's handwriting. I kissed the envelope like I was kissing him on the cheek. "Someday," I said out loud. "Looks like you showed up." I called 2 people. First, Sister Evelyn, my neighbor and a notary who knows how to keep a confidence. Second, Mr. James from Magnolia Court, the 55-plus place with wide hallways and rocking chairs that don't wobble. "Do you have a ground floor unit?" I asked him. "Yes ma'am," he said. "One with morning sun and a view of crepe myrtles." "Hold it," I said. "I'm coming with a deposit." The next 48 hours were quiet thunder. I labeled everything with my little handheld label maker because order is a kindness: pot holders, photo albums, meds. I packed quilts, my Bible, Earl's blue work shirt I still hold when it storms, the cast iron skillet that knows my hand, and the picture of little Danielle missing her front teeth. I didn't take what wasn't mine. I didn't leave what only I could carry. Then I pulled out the key basket. You know the one, sits by the door, catches everybody's coming and going. I took a piece of ribbon and tied every key I had been holding without applause. Red tag, House key I'd been using to lock up after late-night laundry. Blue tag, minivan key I used for school pickups and pharmacy runs. Green tag, key to the lockbox where we kept grandbaby's allergy meds. Silver tag, storage unit key with the winter coats and Christmas lights. Gold tag, safety deposit box, my letters, my will, and a copy of the Maple Street deed. I labeled each one. Because clarity is mercy. I set them on the kitchen table with a note written in my careful script. Danielle. You called me a burden. So I'm unburdening you. The red key goes to your front door, mine no longer. The blue key starts the van, may it only carry you to kindness. Green is the lockbox, don't forget Zyrtec on Fridays. Silver is the storage, watch your step on the top shelf, that box is heavy with memories. Gold is a spare for my safety box, if you ever need my medical papers, you'll find them under H. There's one more key on this ring, brass, heart-shaped. It opens Unit 1A at Magnolia Court. That's my new front door. You don't have to use it. But it's there if you ever want to sit and talk without sharp edges. I love you. I always will. Mama. I propped the note against the salt shaker. I swept the kitchen because my mama raised me right. Then, before the house woke up fully, I kissed each sleeping forehead, grandbaby's first, then, in the doorway, Danielle's. God keep you, I whispered. Not a curse in me. Just a quiet blessing and a steady goodbye. Mr. James met me at Magnolia Court with a smile that felt like a door held open. We've got you, Miss Hattie, he said, handing me a folder and 2 shiny brass keys. Utilities are simple. Porch faces east. And there's a Wednesday morning biscuit club in the lounge if you're a joiner. I took those keys in my palm and felt something unlock in my chest that no lock had ever protected, my peace. The apartment smelled like fresh paint and promise. I opened the blinds and the light came in like a friend. I placed Earl's shirt over the back of the new chair, set my skillet on the stove, lined my soaps in the bathroom like little soldiers, and put my Bible on the nightstand. Then I hung my keys on a little hook in the shape of a rooster. My house. My keys. My breath. By noon, my phone started ringing. First, a text from Danielle, where are you? What is this? Then calls. Then more texts that started hot and cooled into silence. I let my phone rest face down. That evening, I made myself a plate, said grace over it, and ate slow. Food tastes different when you're not being watched for crumbs. The next day, she came. I heard her before I saw her, footsteps tight on the hallway runner. She knocked like a question. I opened. She looked small and big at the same time. Small because pride shrinks a person. Big because pain always looks larger than life when you first meet it. She held my note in one hand and the ring of keys in the other, the metal like a chorus. Mama, she said, voice cracking. You just left? You asked me to, I said, gentle. You said you couldn't carry me. I thought I'd save your back. Tears sat in her eyes, stubborn. I didn't mean, she started. I know what you meant, I said. You meant you were tired. I was tired too. We forgot how to speak soft to each other. She looked down at the heart-shaped key. What is this? My door, I said. It swings on respect. It opens for love. It stays locked to harsh. We stood there, a whole life stretching between our feet. Then the littlest one came barreling down the hall, breathless. Nana. Nana. Is this your new house? I squatted slow, knee said be careful, heart said faster, and I hugged him tight. Yes, baby, I said, and see this key right here? I'm going to make you your own on a little blue ribbon. Anytime your mama says it's okay, you come eat a biscuit with me. Danielle watched our hug like it hurt. That's the thing about a word like burden, it comes back like a boomerang if you throw it hard enough. It hit her on the return. I saw it. I'm sorry, she whispered, staring at the porch floor. I've been drowning and calling it swimming. You do so much and I act like it's air. I said a thing I can't unsay. I accept your apology, I said, because forgiveness is a gift I give myself first. But listen to me good, sorry without change is static. It's just noise. If you want to come in, hang up the noise. I tapped the brass key in her palm. When you use this, bring kind. She nodded, cheeks wet. She handed the other keys back to me, like maybe she could reverse time, but I closed her fingers around them. Those are yours, I said. I'm not the keeper of your cupboards anymore. You got 2 good hands and a husband. Y'all can build your own rhythm. Days turned to weeks. At Magnolia Court, Wednesdays became my favorite. The Biscuit Club, 6 women, 8 recipes, and more laughter than salt, welcomed me like a cousin. We swapped butter tricks and grief stories, wrote each other's names on index cards, and prayed with our eyes open over folks we loved. I started a Thursday soup pot for the whole hallway. If you can't pay, pray. Mr. James brought back my crock pot with the cord wrapped neat, looking proud like he'd done algebra. I put geraniums on my windowsill and watched them lean toward the light. Grandbabies learned my place and its rules. Shoes off at the door, hands washed, ask before you touch the cast iron. We planted herbs in coffee cans, basil, mint, and a brave little rosemary that didn't like to be rushed. Danielle came too, at first holding her breath like the air might judge her, then exhaling slow. We practiced a new language, fewer imperatives, more invitations. She stopped starting sentences with you always and you never. I stopped hearing through old hurts. One evening, when the sky was the color of ripe peaches, Danielle stood on my porch with a bag of groceries and a different kind of apology. I signed up for counseling, she said. Me and Marcus both. I told the kids I was wrong when I said what I said. I put a reminder in my phone that says, speak soft. She laughed at herself, embarrassed, and I loved her harder for it. I'm proud of you, I said. I meant it. We sat on my little love seat and snapped beans like a memory. That's when she saw the rooster hook. Mama, she smiled, touching it, you really got your own keys. I always did, I said. I just forgot where I hung them. Now, hear me if you've ever been called a burden by a mouth you fed, your worth ain't measured in how many bags you carry or how quiet you can be while carrying them. It's in your breath, your boundaries, your ability to say, I won't be heavy where I'm unwelcome. You can love people and still move out of the way of their bad words. You can leave keys behind and keep the key to yourself. If this settled somewhere tender in you, tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city and state in the comments so I can hold you in prayer by name. And if you've got a story like mine, if your goodbye came with keys or silence or a new kind of sunrise, share it below or send it to the email in the description. I read every name. I carry them. If this reminded you that you're allowed to choose peace, tap that like. Share it with someone who needs to find their own curing. And if you felt seen on this porch today, subscribe. We don't whisper our worth over here. We speak it, we live it, and we hand it down like a good cast iron skillet. More love from Miss Hattie. I'll see you next time. Bring your story, I saved you a seat and made extra biscuits. Old Key.